I'm on meth.
I'm on meth.
Less than a week after the $1.4 million ad campaign from South Dakota captured national attention, Governor Noem is responding to criticism. In an interview you only see on KELOLAND News, Noem walks us through exactly what went through her mind when she decided that this was the meth campaign that she wanted to represent the Mount Rushmore state. Tonight's Eye on KELOLAND picks up with KELOLAND.com reporter Michael Guerin's conversation with Noem today at the governor's residence in Pierre.
The campaign came out just a little more than a week ago. When you were first going through the proposals that came in, what were you looking for?
Well, the one thing I'd always talked about when I was running for governor, and what I told the people of South Dakota, is that we would be wise with our money, we would have an open bid process, and that we would be as impactful as possible for their future and for the next generation. And so all of those qualifiers were things that we looked at when we looked at proposals. The company that brought us this campaign brought a campaign that brought communities together, which is what we really need to do, and all the research shows is that you need to have whole communities helping people heal. It also was provocative. It would grab people's attention, and then it actually, the next phases of the campaign give us a plan of action. And it was a very comprehensive plan that this company put together that was different than anything that had happened in the past, and the state had done things in the past, but meth has only gotten worse. So we were looking for something that research showed would work, that was different, that would grab people's attention, and then give us a plan of action we could put in place.
Yeah, and you mentioned provocative. Did you hesitate at all when you saw that? So you picked it. Did you hesitate at all, thinking, I wonder how this is going to play out after it gets released?
You know, we definitely, when I saw the tagline, it grabbed my attention too. And people ask me all the time, you know, did it work how you thought? You know, I don't know. You know, I was surprised by people making it a joke, because addiction's not a joke. And I feel like people that did that don't have someone in their family that struggles with addiction, or haven't been through the trauma of that. I also feel like, you know, what it did by grabbing people's attention will be judged in the long run. We've had so much more traffic to our On Meth website than any other website we've had dealing with addiction before. We've had you know, just all kinds of attention drawn to this. I think everybody in the state and beyond would say they've talked about meth more than they have in the last 5 years combined. And we've also had 55 people that have requested treatment, and 9 that have already been referred to that. So for those 9 people, for their families, if this campaign got them to take action, then I'd say it was life-changing. For me, you know, I'm not the people in the ads. They're probably the ones that my heart goes to the most. They were brave, they were leaders, they stepped up and recognized that this would help South Dakota. But for me, for those 9 people, for those 55 that are currently in line to get into treatment, I think it can be extremely life-changing for them, and it might be the start to a really big movement towards healing families.
Is that kind of your measure of success? Like, if I come back to you a year from now, is it the people who are referred into treatment, is that kind of how you're going to gauge the success of the campaign?
I think we will, and I think also by the amount of people that look at it differently. I think a lot of times in South Dakota, we have such a wonderful life. We're blessed. We've got, you know, fairly low crime rates still. We've got strong families. And we forget that there's people hurting in the house next door to us. Or that if somebody, you know, we see in a restaurant or in a gas station might look like they are in crisis, we don't know what to do. I've been in those situations. I've met people and talked to them that were high on meth, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the answers. And that's what I want every South Dakotan to realize, is that even if they're paying attention to this campaign, as the next stages roll out, that they're going to know what to do next time. They're going to have all the information they need on how to come alongside that person, how to give them a reference to a treatment facility, how to support their family, how they can protect their children so they don't have to live in a situation that's dangerous for them. I want every person in South Dakota to know exactly what to do if they encounter someone who's tied up in addiction.
Are you worried at all about the state's reputation with, you know, the jokes, as we kind of talked about in social media, but then you also see like Saturday Night Live did something on it, some of the late shows did. Are you worried about the state's reputation at all?
And you can find the answer to that question and watch the rest of the 18-minute interview right now on KELOLAND.com.